Hey polish fans, welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. It's Caroline again, and this time we are going over what I wore in January. So as you can see, there is a soft palette that I was going with, and I had some pretty good manis that I was happy with, and I did sort of experiment with some white colors, some of which I liked, and some of which were a bit on the disappointing side, but we'll discuss that with each mani. Now sadly we are starting off with one of the disappointments, and that is this first mani of January, and this was from Elevation Polish. This one is called Yeti Hugs Feels So Close, and the reason this was a bit on the disappointing side is one of the reasons why I bought this polish is if you look at it very closely at just the right angle, you see all that shimmer in there, that pink and purple glimmering away. That's what I was really hoping would translate to the nails, and it just didn't. It looked like a basic white cream, which, as I said, was a bit on the disappointing side since I was really hoping that that would sort of pop, even if subtly. And honestly, for myself, I didn't see it. Let me know if you did, if you own this polish. Formula-wise, I mean, it was great. I don't remember if I used 2 or 3 coats, but I mean, other than it coming across on my nails as just a white polish, it didn't quite live up to my hopes for the polish. But like I said, the formula wasn't bad. So again, this one was Elevation Polish. Yeti Hugs Feels So Close. The next polish that I wore was a mani put together with 2 nail polishes, and I used Essie Brides To Be and Fancy Gloss Fairy Wings, and I did sort of a French mani with these. So I used Essie's Brides To Be for its nude tone, and I kept it fairly sheer. Now this I thought looked really nice on my skin tone. It's sort of this nudie peach like foundation tone, and it works really nicely with my skin tone. Like I said, it does come across as the perfect French mani. Not too pink, not too orange, not too peachy on me, which was pretty nice to find. I know with these tones they can be sort of hit or miss. Sometimes they're going to look too pink on you, sometimes they can look too orange, and of course that's going to depend on your skin tone. But I thought this one was really nice, and what I just noticed recently was the really cute lace cap detail that they have on these bottles in this collection. Really cute. I believe this is the only one that I have though, but I thought it was a really nice little touch. So that was Essie's Brides To Be. And then for the tips of my nails, I used Fancy Gloss Fairy Wings. Now this was absolutely beautiful on the nail. It is a white jelly base, and as you can see, it's positively loaded with this rainbow flaky in there. It really does pop on the nail. You see pinks and oranges and yellows and greens and blues and purples. It's gorgeous. I really liked how this looked on the nail. I was wanting to actually put this back into my winter nail polish rack for circulation and trying to wear this as a full mani, but we'll see how that goes. Winter here has basically just started. I'll show you a picture up there about what we just got today. It's our first winter storm of this year, and I know for a lot of you folks in, say, back east in the United States or in other parts of the world, this amount of snow is small potatoes, but in this area, which is Northwest Washington, this is definitely a lot of snow. So in any case, this was Fancy Gloss Fairy Wings. Next, I wanted to change it up and try a topper on that mani, so I used Enchanted. This is Djinn in a bottle, and this was beautiful. This is a holographic topper, and this added a very subtle glimmering holographicness to that mani. As you can see in the picture, it's pretty subtle on camera, but in person it definitely added a nice nuanced layer of this holographic glimmer and shimmer to the nail, and it was exactly what I was hoping for. I really didn't want it to turn into a blast of like silver holographic on top. So this I thought was really beautiful. I haven't really played around that much with this polish, but I really enjoyed it on that mani. So this was Enchanted's Djinn in a Bottle. Next, I used these 2 on top of this mani. So I did sort of a half change in a mani, not really even half change, a topper mani, if you will. I used Tonic Luminescent and OPI Butterfly Me to the Moon, and I put Luminescent over a couple of nails And then I used OPI's Butterfly Me to the Moon as a topper over the other two, and I thought it added a really nice layered look to that mani and definitely changed it up. So Luminescent by Tonic is this really beautiful sort of light icy blue gray polish, and it has this multi-chrome shimmer in it that is sort of purple on the outer edges and shades of that electric blue popping. I'm not sure if that's coming across on camera. There we go. That's a beautiful pop of blue right there. So it's a really lovely color on the nail. That glow really pops. It's a really lovely soft sort of light multichrome. And then if you look closely, it's got these scattered holographic glitters in there. So it's really, really beautiful. I really like this combination of colors as well, that gray with the blue. Really nice. And then of course along the edges you're going to have that pop of purple, which was really, really nice. So that again was Tonic Luminescent. Then on top of the other nails, I used OPI's Butterfly Me to the Moon. And this was a polish that I really wasn't sure how to use initially when I bought it, but it was gorgeous in the bottle, so I had to get it. It is definitely a sheer topper. As you can see, it's got this sort of pink shimmer that runs throughout very strongly. And then if you look very closely, what makes up a lot of the polish are these aqua blue, sort of silvery blue aqua glitters, and they really stand out against whatever color you put them on top of course, unless you put them on top of blue. But it's a really beautiful topper. I really liked how it turned out on top of the sort of French mani that I had going on. It added a really nice touch and was very wintry because of those blue glitters. I really enjoyed this one. Again, that was OPI's Butterfly Me to the Moon. Next, I went with a neutral, again a duo of polishes that I used. This one is Sally Hansen's Devil Wears Nada, and as a topper accent I used this one from Dare to Wear Nail Color by Le Chat, and this one is called Titanium. Devil Wears Nada is one of those colors that can run very mannequin hands, and I wasn't really sure if this would work well on my skin tone. In fact, if you've watched my haul video where I got this, I really wasn't too sure about it. I was almost thinking that it would be one of the ones that I got rid of. It came in, I believe, one of the Goodwill bags that I got, but this turned out to be a really pleasant surprise. This was a creamy neutral, as the color in the bottle obviously suggests, and it is just a basic cream, but I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed wearing this. I mean, it's not quite mannequin hands, it's definitely a very like milky, light, pinky nude tone, but it worked really well, and I kept finding myself surprised at how much I enjoyed wearing this. So I will be keeping this in my stash for sure. To have a nude shade like this, a Barbie hands shade or a mannequin hands shade, leave that much of an impression on me really is saying something. So that was Sally Hansen's Devil Wears Nada. So on the top of a few of those nails, I used this silver glitter topper from Le Chat, Dare to Wear, and it's simply called Titanium. And this was actually another polish that I almost got rid of. I have been surprising myself at the colors that I have been pulling back into my collection, re-assimilating them, so to speak. And this was one of them. It was sitting on my desk, and I had planned on ditching this one, and the gold topper just wasn't exciting, I guess. However, when I was putting together the mani with the Sally Hansen color, I was really looking for something just sort of not too blingy to go on top, and I thought silver would just do the trick. And it definitely did. I liked how this came out. If you look closely, it's got silver in a bunch of different sizes, and it worked really nicely on top of the Sally Hansen. And this is another one that I will be, of course, keeping in my collection and playing around with, because it works really nicely when you're just looking for a good silver topper. So again, that was Le Chat Dare to Wear in Titanium. And I'm not actually sure if these ones are still available. I got this in a D-stash. I think it was like a gift that I was sent with purchase in that D-stash, and it was a whole set of these from Dare to Wear, and they come in these mini bottles. The next mani that I wore used Indigo Bananas and Glam polish. So the first main color in my mani was from Indigo Bananas, and this was Aether Ore. Now this one was one of the white polishes that surprised me. Kind of in a good way, kind of in a bad way. Now, I believe the idea behind this polish was that it is a white hollow. Now, if you have attempted to make polish, you'll know that white hollows are very hard to make because of the fact that the holographic pigment is silver. So you are going to add color, whether you mean to or not, by adding the hollow to a white pigment. So I'm not sure how she formulated this, but this was supposed to be as close as you could get to a white hollow. And I did get this one in a D-stash, and it is a very nice polish. I will say on my skin tone though, it was very noticeable that this was not strictly white. It definitely came off as a light gray, but like I said, it didn't really bother me necessarily because I understand why it can't be solid, stark white. So like I said, on the nail, it was sort of a light dove gray, but as you can see, the holographic pigment in there is definitely strong. I will say on the nail, I don't think it came across that blazingly rainbow, but it added a very nice depth to the polish, and it was nice on the nail. I can't say it was a favorite necessarily, but it was a nice polish. The formula also was pretty good. I believe I used... Ooh, now I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 coats, but really nice. And I do need to try more polishes from Indigo Bananas. If you have any favorites from that brand, let me know down below. So this was Indigo Bananas Aether Ore. The one that I used on top of it, I believe in a few accent nails, was from Glam Polish, and this was an Unexpected Journey. Now this was on my wish list for a very, very long time. I kept trying to get it from the website, and every time I had my cart loaded, it would sell out, and then I would have to wait for it to be back in stock. But this is a beautiful glitter shimmering topper. Really, really beautiful. It has those iridescent glitters in a bunch of different sizes. And then I want to say there's also some very, very, very small particled holographic pigment in there. It's beautiful, and this did look very nice over this polish. This is definitely a favorite still. I love this polish, and I definitely want to play around with this on more colors because it is stunning. So that was Glam Polishes, An Unexpected Journey. Next is one of my favorites. This you may have seen me talk about in one of my polish favorite videos from the beginning of my channel, and this is Native War Paints June 2018. This is just spectacular. This has so many different colors shining in it. It is a very light multi-chrome hollow, and look at that glow. That glow really comes across on the nail. It is this light lilac pink loaded with holographic, and then that shimmer glows from this really bright blue to purple and pink, and then you have all of the rainbow colors coming out through the holographic pigment as well. It's just amazing. This is definitely still in my top faves ever. I'm really sad that this was a limited edition because I cannot get a backup bottle of this unless I find another one through a D-stash, but it's amazing. Really beautiful color. If you do find this in a D-stash, I would suggest getting it because it is gorgeous. So that again was Native War Paints, June 2018. And then the last mani that I wore in January were these 3 polishes here. And if you watched my video on my winter nail polish rack, these 3 swatched together were really beautiful. So I was really excited to put these 3 together and wear them in a mani as soon as possible. And I did. So the first one was Stella Chromas, who is the Drizzle. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite polishes because it is so beautiful. It is this light sort of off-white loaded with these multi-chrome or ultra-chrome chameleon flakies and holographic in there. It's really spectacular on the nail. I love how this looks on. You have the white creamy base and then all of those crushed flakies in there layer up so nicely over each other to create this either crushed flowers or crushed leaves on the nail look, and it is really, really nice. This has definitely made me want to look for more polishes that have this sort of formulation, those multi-chrome flakies in this particular family that sort of create this very unique look on the nail. Really spectacular. I really, really, really like this one. So this is Stella Chromas, who is the Drizzle. Then I had an accent nail of this polish by Kiss. This one is called This Romance, and this is a very beautiful soft green, a little bit on the dark side, so it's definitely appropriate for winter. It's not nearly as dark as it seems to be coming across on camera right now, but it is a nice dusty tone and a beautiful shade. I definitely don't have anything else quite like this. This is really nice. So I did only do one nail of this, and I sort of regretted that. I think if I were to redo the mani, I might add another nail of this because it was really nice. Just a really beautiful sort of eucalyptus tone of green. Very beautiful. That's a pretty good representation right there. So that again was by Kiss, called This Romance, and I got this at Dollar Tree. I haven't seen it in a while, but they're usually pretty good in my area about stocking this brand. And then the other color in that mani was by Pretty Serious, and this is called Undercover Mermaid. Now this was a very interesting surprise on the nail. In the bottle and in my initial swatches, this definitely came out as sort of this mushroom leaning purple. And what sort of surprised me is how on my skin tone, most of the time it came across as a gray, which was fine. Now, what makes this special are those flakies in here, and those were noticeable on the nail, not as much as in the bottle, but they were definitely noticeable, mainly at certain angles when you were moving your hands around. But it did come across on me mostly gray in indoor lighting, and then outside it definitely took on this sort of dusty purple tone. So it was kind of an interesting polish in that it does change depending on the light, and I can imagine it also will change depending on your skin tone. But lovely polish. So this is what completed that last mani of January, and that was Pretty Serious Undercover Mermaid. So there you go, those were my manis for January. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites or which manis you've been enjoying this winter so far. And again, let me know if you have any favorites from the brand Indigo Bananas that I should try. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell for notifications if you want to see more of my nail polish themed videos. And again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in that next one.